That's my big panel tonight. Welcome back Admiral Vishnu Bhagwat, Brigadier Mahalingam, Satvik Verma, lawyer and columnist, Major General B.N. Dhar from Jammu, Vinod Mehta, editorial chairman of The Outlook, Vinod Sharma of the Hindustan Times, and Maruf Raza. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Now, bottom line is, and I put that question first to you, General Dhar. General Dhar, isn't...
Yes, sir.
I know you've been criticizing V.K. Singh, but V.K. Singh is looking vindicated because of all this dirt coming out on Tatra. It appears the general had a point. The army chief had a right point, and you were criticizing him wrongly.
I was criticizing him for the timing at that time, and I always maintained that there is something fishy somewhere. And at that time you agreed. This time I am again stating the general is very right. He's an upright man.
Yeah.
He has tried to clean the army, or some top notches at least. And today his stand is vindicated. That's what my point is.
Oh, that's very significant, General Dhar. Here on News Hour tonight, General Dhar, one of our panelists who was very critical on the issue of timing, Vinod Mehta, now saying, look at the substance of what is coming out, and saying here is a clean man, an army chief who is genuinely trying to clean the system. In your view, is this battle now leaning in favor of the army chief?
Now, I'm not sure about that, but I can tell you I've been an editor for nearly 4 decades, and I have not seen a story in which there are only bad guys. There are no good guys. Everybody has an axe to grind. And your story today about Tetra, this truck, I would be very surprised if it was a clean deal. All defense deals are dirty. So therefore the general, to that extent, is absolutely right, and there may be people out to get him. And I think one of the lobbies that we have not concentrated on enough is the arms lobby.
Exactly.
Is what role has the arms lobby played in adding to the problems, in blowing up this problem? And therefore they have a vested interest, because not only is this Tetra deal, but you must remember India is the largest importer of arms in the world.
Exactly.
So the defense lobby, the middlemen, are very strong people. And what role they have played, what role other generals have played. But at the end of the day, what is happening is that 4 or 5 generals are squabbling, and at the end, the army is coming down.
No, but yes.
I still say General V.K. Singh has not been vindicated, but his passion for cleaning the system
is coming through.
1.5 cheers.
Is coming through. Very, very.
Deserves 1.5 cheers.
Very important. Look at the support coming out. So let me get the critics first. Satvik, you've been critical on several issues of the chief as a lawyer and a columnist. You want to revise your position tonight, given what's coming out on Tatra, given that the fact that the Tatra boss was called to the CBI headquarters, given the fact that these letters which are put out on Times Now show that the deal was in the knowledge of the government of India, would you also like to revise your position on the chief?
Arnab, let me back up a little bit. I think, and I'd like to say right at the start, that personally I hold the Chief of Army in very, very high esteem. I think his commitment to the nation, his 40 years of service, his integrity are unquestionable. It's because of sacrifices like people like him that you and I and everyone else are able to sleep peacefully at night. And I did catch glimpses of the General's press release this evening that people should not make uninformed comments about military matters. So let me assure you that I will not transgress into territory that I'm not familiar with. But as Vinod Mehta was just saying, I think there's 2 issues that are important. Let's discuss those and then decide whether or not there is a need for vindication. I think the first issue is about lobbying practices. This is a matter that came up about a year ago. We all pushed it under the carpet, and I think that the recent controversies bring that back to the fore. Whether it's the defense lobby, whether it's lobbying otherwise, we need to understand that lobbying is not illegal, but corruption is. And therefore, this brings back to the fore lobbying practices in India, and it brings back to the fore the need to overhaul the defense procurement process. As Vinod Mehta observed,
So the chief was doing exactly that. The chief was doing exactly that, and maybe he was the good guy.
And I think,
and in the personality tussle, in this all this question of the leak and where the leak came from, Sathwik. Let me move on quickly. I'll be back to you. Maybe we got distracted.
No, but Arnab,
okay, quickly,
Arnab,
quick
I'd like
point.
to say
Okay.
that in that context, it's important. The personality issue stems from the background in which all of these things have happened.
But forget that.
And therefore, I agree with General.
What is the relevance
No,
of
but
that?
you can't forget that.
What is the relevance
you
of
can't
that?
forget that, because the relevance is that had the army chief's tenure been extended by 1 year, I ask myself that question, and I have the right to make an informed comment about that. Had the army chief's tenure been extended, would questions still have been raised about
Maroof, I want you to take that.
and the alleged bribe?
Maroof, take that.
Well, you know, the first thing to understand is that I keep repeating this again and again, that the comment of the army chief about the bribe was not a full extensive interview just linked to the bribe issue. It was a sort of a holistic interview in which he brought into context a lot of things that were happening in his time. Now, it's a known fact in army circles, and that is one of the reasons where I have tilted towards supporting the General V.K. Singh stand on a number of occasions, because I know the man was actually trying to clean the system. The system needs to be cleaned for the sake of the system. There has too much rot that has been setting in over the years, accommodated by people from the very top. It became almost a given that at a particular level you could accept a senior officer being extremely accommodative to a particular type of a lobbyist. They existed, and I think what General V.K. Singh tried to do is he upset the apple cart for these people, and they wanted him out ASAP. But having said that, what I think we need to now understand and not get too carried away by the fact that the chief has vindicated himself, the central question still stands, Arnab, that is the country suitably equipped and prepared to deal with an eventuality?
Absolutely.
Are we going to be able to deal with a threat, or is it all under the carpet because the chief and the defense ministry have made up?
So here's one question. No, whether the chief and the defense minister make up is irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. The question tonight is this, and I want to hold up another letter. I'm deliberately not holding up page 1, but I want to share this with the Times Now viewers tonight. This is the whistleblower's letter. This is deliberately being put by me as page 2. This is the whistleblower's letter. This is a letter of a whistleblower where he writes to the chairman and managing director of BEML. He challenges the BEML official version being put out on the business with Tatra, and he writes in bold, "This clarification by you is an absolute, unabashed and blatant lie." This letter, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching, was available with the government of India in 2009. It's gone through almost every important quarter in the government of India. Now here, we go back to the basics. Admiral Bhagwat, the real issue is arms lobbies, isn't it?
No, before I come to the arms lobby, I just want to clarify that had an extension been given of tenure to the Chief of Army Staff, on the reverse, his proper tenure, normal tenure of 3 years, has been curtailed, has been shortened by fraudulent practices of imposing an age on which he was never born.
Why?
Because if an inquiry will show that he has all along been born in 1951, starting with the day that he was born in the military hospital at Pune,
so it was
and then his matriculation certificate. So it's the other way around. People have clubbed together, have joined together from the highest to the people in the Ministry of Defense.
To get him out.
To get him out, because they don't want an honest chief. It's as simple as that.
And now that Brigadier Mahalingam, let's do the round. 1 sec, Sathwik, opening up for debate in 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, I'm opening this up for debate. But now that General Mahalingam, the focus is on Tatra, the focus of what's happening in the CBI, Brigadier Mahalingam. Now the focus goes back on the real issue of arms lobbies. It's no longer about the personality, whether the chief is good, bad, bitter, frustrated or anything else, is it?